It was 27th of April 2023, the night when miscreants torched and destroyed the newly constructed open gym that was supposed to be inaugurated by Chief Minister 𝗠𝗣𝗏 the next day. Biren said the government will not tolerate any such acts of vandalism and action would be taken against the miscreants. The Chief Minister was scheduled to address a public meeting at Sadbhavna Mandap to mark the first anniversary of 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗦𝗓 Kaute and inaugurate an open gym at PT Sports Complex. The Chief Minister had earlier in the day indicated his plans to visit 𝗠𝗔𝗡 had been deferred at the request of the organizers following protests and an 8-hour bandh call by local tribals in protest against the eviction of Kuki villagers from reserve forest areas. Life came to a grinding halt in the headquarters of the 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗔𝗣 district, with the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF imposing a total shutdown as part of its resolve to not cooperate with the state government. It all began about 5 months ago on May 3rd, 2023 in 𝗠𝗔𝗡 district, Manipur. The day when the Vice President was at Imphal to attend an interaction program with faculties of central institutions and master craftspersons and national awardees. Kuki community carried out a so-called peace protest carrying sophisticated weapons against a recommendation of the High Court of Manipur to Government of Manipur regarding a long-standing demand that Meiteis be included in the list of scheduled tribes. The clashes on May 3rd brought Manipur to a boil, resulting in a curfew being imposed and mobile internet banned across the state. The Indian Army, Assam Rifles, Central Armed Police Forces and Rapid Action Forces was soon deployed to control the situation. The next 2 months were dotted with reports of killings, arson and police actions as the tensions between the two communities escalated. After almost a month of violence, Union Home Minister Amit Shah visited Manipur to review the security situation in the state and bring the warring Kukis and Meiteis together. Following a meeting with key political leaders and officials in Imphal, Amit Shah met with various civil society groups from the Meitei community in the state capital and then travelled to 𝗠𝗔𝗡 to meet representatives of the Kuki community. He also visited relief camps housing both the groups and assured all support in ensuring their early and safe return home. Amit Shah promised that justice would be done and all possible help would be provided to them. He promised to return in a fortnight. 5 months on and the revisit never happened.
मैं सू ग्रुप वालों को भी एक कठोर संदेश देना चाहता हूं कि सू एग्रीमेंट का किसी भी प्रकार का वायोलेशन, किसी भी प्रकार का विचलन बहुत सख्ती से साथ लिया जाएगा और वो समझौते के भंग के रूप में लिया जाएगा। तो कृपया समझौते की सभी शर्तों का कठोरता से आप पालन करिए। आज से हम इसको बहुत स्ट्रिक्टली मॉनिटर करेंगे और जिन लोगों के पास हथियार हैं उनसे भी मैं अपील करना चाहता हूं कि अपने अपने हथियार पुलिस के सामने सरेंडर कर दें। कल से पुलिस कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन करेगी और कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन करने के बाद जिनके पास से हथियार मिलेंगे उन पर कठोर न्यायिक धाराएं लगाई जाएंगी। तो मेरा सभी से अपील है कि जिनके पास हथियार हैं वो सभी लोग पुलिस के सामने अपने हथियारों को सरेंडर कर दें। मैं सभी सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से भी निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि अफवाहों पर ध्यान न दें। समय शांति बनाने का है, समाज के अंदर सद्भावना बढ़ाने का है और जिस काम के लिए आप लोगों ने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाया है मैं मानता हूं वो काम यही है। तो आप लोग कृपया दोनों साइड से शांति बनाने का, चर्चा का और सद्भाव बढ़ाने का माहौल बनाए, ऐसी मेरी आप सबसे विनती है। धन्यवाद।
A video showing 2 women from the Kuki community being paraded naked by a mob of men began doing the rounds on July 19th, bringing to light an incident which took place in Manipur more than 2 months ago when the violence first started. The video provoked sharp reactions from across the political spectrum and prompted Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani to speak with the state's Chief Minister 𝗠𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. This was when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi broke his silence for the first time.
पीड़ा से भरा हुआ है, क्रोध से भरा हुआ है, मणिपुर की जो घटना सामने आई है, किसी भी सभ्य समाज के लिए ये शर्मसार करने वाली घटना है। बेइज्जती पूरे देश की हो रही है। 140 करोड़ देशवासियों को शर्मसार होना पड़ रहा है। और मैं देशवासियों को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, किसी भी गुनहगार को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। कानून अपनी पूरी शक्ति से, पूरी सख्ती से एक के बाद एक कदम उठाएगा। मणिपुर की इन बेटियों के साथ जो हुआ है, इसको कभी माफ नहीं किया जा सकता है।
In late July, a 21-member multi-party delegation of MPs of the opposition's Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance India visited Manipur for 2 days to take stock of the ground situation in the state. The visit aimed at mounting pressure on the government, seeking a statement from Prime Minister Modi in Parliament ahead of the much-awaited discussion in the Lok Sabha on a no-confidence motion against the centre. The delegation hit out at PM Modi in a memorandum submitted to the Manipur governor, saying that his silence over the continuing violence in the state showed his brazen indifference. They also submitted a memorandum asking her to restore peace and normalcy in the state and apprise the centre of the complete breakdown of law and order in Manipur for the last 89 days.
हमारी बात पे सहमत जताई खुद यहाँ के राज्यपाल साहिबा। उन्होंने ये भी सलाह दी है कि आप सब मिलके मणिपुर की कुकी हो, मेती हो, हर समुदाय की जो नेतागण है, ये नेतागणों से चर्चा कीजिए, बात कीजिए और कोई समाधान की रास्ता ढूंढिए। उन्होंने ये भी सलाह दी कि सत्ता पक्ष या विपक्ष सब मिलके ऑल पार्टी एक डेलीगेशन मणिपुर में आना चाहिए और यहाँ आके हर समुदाय की नेतागण से वार्ता करना जरूरी है, क्योंकि लोगों के बीच जो अविश्वास की वातावरण पैदा हो चुकी है, उसको निवारण करने के लिए सबको एकजुट होकर पहल करना जरूरी है। हमारे सारे मुद्दा उनके सभी रखे थे कि वैली के लोग हिल नहीं जा पाते, हिल के लोग वैली नहीं आ पाते, राशन, खाना, दवाई सारे जाना बंद हो चुके हैं, छात्रों को पढ़ा लिखा बंद हो चुके हैं। सारे विस्तार रूप से हम बयान किए हैं और हमारी सारे बात मानते हुए राज्यपाल साहिबा सहमत जताते हुए सबको एक साथ एकजुट होकर ये मणिपुर की समस्याओं को हल निकालने के लिए कदम उठाना चाहिए और मेहनत करना चाहिए, ये उनकी तरफ से हमें चाहिए।
The Parliament witnessed a tumultuous monsoon session with the opposition parties under the banner of India bringing a no-confidence motion against PM Modi and pressing for an elaborate discussion on Manipur violence and a statement from him. The government said they were open to discussion but said that it would be led by Amit Shah and not PM Modi as the opposition had demanded. The no-trust motion was defeated in the Lok Sabha following a walkout by the opposition parties during PM Modi's speech on the third day of the debate. PM Modi, during his over 2-hour-long speech, besides leading a triad against the opposition parties, vowed to bring peace to the northeastern state at the earliest. Meanwhile, the assembly session in Manipur on August 29th, a first since the violence broke, lasted all of 11 minutes. There was no discussion on the clashes which have gripped the state for the last 4 months, but at the end of the session, in an unprecedented move, a resolution calling for peace through dialogue and constitutional means was declared as passed by the House. 5 Congress MLAs, the only opposition, were seen demanding a discussion on the crisis, but in vain. The one-day session had been hurriedly convened through a summons on August 21st to meet a constitutional requirement. The Manipur police booked the Editors Guild of India president and 3 members of its team in early September over a report that criticized the role of the state administration and alleged bias by officials and a section of the media in the ethnic conflict. One of the FIRs registered at the Imphal police station was based on the complaint of one 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗥 𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗦𝗜, a social worker, It alleged that the report was false, fabricated and sponsored by Kuki militants and their supporters. The other FIR, based on a complaint by one 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨𝗥 was registered at the same night at Imphaal's 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨𝗥 police station. The report alleged that the leadership of the state became partisan during the conflict and failed to do its duty as a democratic government which should have represented the entire state.
Recently we have seen one report published by the Editor Guilds of India with some points. That is the reason why we are having press conference today. And the points which was raised and the comments by the Editor Guilds of India is highly condemnable, and we condemn it in the strongest term, because the Honorable Supreme Court has constituted many commissions, including led by the retired Chief Justice and many judges, and above that, the Government of India also constituted a commission of inquiry headed by the one retired Chief Justice. Investigation is on in different way, in different place. But in the meantime, how the Editor Guilds conclude as a fact-finding team, who constituted them? Who constituted them? They never authorized to have the fact-finding teams and to investigate the Manipur issues. It is a self-style and nothing to do with this present crisis in the state of Manipur. And I also giving warning to the Editor Guilds member, if you want to do something, please come to the spot, please do visit here, see the ground reality, meet the representatives of the all communities, all victims, then you publish whatever you found. Otherwise, meeting some peoples, some section of the peoples, and coming to the conclusion that this or this, that is highly condemnable. That's why the state government has filed an FIR against the members of the Editor Guilds who are trying to create more, classes in the state of Manipur.
Then came the protests in Manipur Valley, demanding the release of 5 village defense volunteers who had been arrested for allegedly possessing firearms and wearing camouflage uniforms. These turned violent after a large number of women protesters surrounded various police stations. The situation got particularly heated at 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨𝗥 police station in Imphal West, where the officer in charge's residence was also vandalized. Police and security personnel responded with the use of tear gas shells, leaving 3 civilians injured. A week after their arrest, the court granted them bail. However, one of them was immediately arrested by NIA. Nearly 5 months after mobile internet services were snapped in Manipur, the facility was restored hours after the Chief Minister N. Biren announced the same. This comes after the Manipur government issued a show cause notice to Airtel over mobile internet services being available to unauthorized mobile numbers in some areas of Churchandpur.
Youth businessmen, labor media, profession situation internet fact news, fact propaganda, hat speech, control
In latest turn of events, heart-wrenching pictures of the bodies of two students, 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨𝗥 and 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗏, who had gone missing on July 6th, were shared widely on social media, sparking fresh rounds of protests in the state. 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗏's mother said she had lost hope of him returning home alive. There was no proof that they had been murdered, so although we suspected it, we could not perform any rituals.
Kari hiding game to the higher than Class 9 invitar
I have waited for more than 2.5 months. I just needed to know the whereabouts of the two kids. I have appealed to the government many times to find the kids, but in vain. And now their deaths are viral all over social media. Back when we approached the police, they told us that it is a cookie inhabited area and that they do not have the capacity to enter the area. The police asked us to go through higher authorities, and we met with the Chief Minister, Governor Kuldip Singh. They promised us of finding the kids, but they did not. manipur and other local organizations also got busy with the current turmoil. However, they staged various sit-in protests demanding that the two Meitei students be rescued. I usually wake up much before my son. However, on that fateful day, he woke up very early and got fresh. I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to watch a football match and that he won't be late to return home. I warned him that there are cookies roaming around and that the situation was not good. When I heard news about the incident at 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥 area, I immediately called my son and his phone was switched off. His phone has been switched off since. If the government wanted to act, it could have. His phone was active with another SIM. The government just did not want to find the missing students. Since they had entered the cookie areas, we lost all hopes of the kids being alive. However, we were unable to perform last rites since there was no proof. I'm going to now perform the rituals, thinking it's my son's marriage and not a death ceremony. I would like to have at least a piece of bone or clothing. We are unable to perform last rites since we do not have any of these. The photos confirm he was killed. All I want now is for authorities to hand over even a bone or piece of clothing for last rites, she said. Her gaze in that photo, I have never seen that before. It pains me a lot. Such a deep look filled with love and emotion. Why did they kill 2 children? 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗨𝗥 father said. One of the photos that emerged shows the 2 youngsters sitting next to each other outdoors with 2 men carrying arms standing behind them. The second purportedly shows their bodies slumped on the ground next to each other with Hemjit's head missing. Even before the news of their deaths went viral on social media, few media persons showed us the images, and I confirmed that these are the 2 kids. I thank the media for all their work. I'm extremely upset that we have lost 2 future national pillars. I'm pained by my daughter's looks. I have never seen such a look ever from her. Such heart-touching look I have never seen ever in my life. I am very hurt. I am very upset with the attitude of the authorities. Why did the Chief Minister react immediately to the nude parade? Why did BJP Chief 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥 call for a press meet? What did she do when the 2 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥 students went missing? Did the Prime Minister Narendra Modi react in the case of 2 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥 students like the way he reacted to the nude parade? Did a large number of security forces help find the 2 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥 kids? There is a sue agreement with them. Are the security forces maintaining a deafening silence to the terror acts of narco-terrorists and their supporters? We 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗥s have a rule that we don't attack innocents. Why did they kill 2 young innocent kids? I demand justice within 7 days. I would like the government to act like the way they did during the nude parade case. Except for media houses, no one has given me a death certificate or any other official notification. Widespread protests by students across the valley followed. Security forces carried out atrocities upon protesting students using tear gas, mob bombs, etc. Many were seriously injured. A day after the National Investigation Agency (NIA) said that it came across a transnational conspiracy stoking the ethnic strife, CM N. Biren stated that the 5-month-long violence is a war against the Indian Union by Myanmar and Bangladesh-based Kuki militants, jointly with militant groups operating in the state, stating that the current crisis was instigated by a group of people who want to disintegrate Manipur but has been shown as an ethnic or communal clash or religion-based or a clash between majority and minority. Referring to the arrest of 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗣𝗥, a Kuki, by the NIA from 𝗠𝗔𝗡𝗏 for his alleged involvement in the transnational conspiracy, Biren said as the issue is war against the Indian Union, the center would further take up necessary measures to tackle it.
Ethnic clashes dona community anigi marakta khanaba dona sandoamba adagi even international gi platform da European Union, United Nations aduga te forum kaya da religious ki crisis ne na sandoamba adagi platform khara amada koi majority na minority singbu tahatpani na sandoamba so many things. Mayam mama aduna Manipur ki praja si aduga Bharat ki praja si kangau naraga karino Manipur da thui si bo aina khangdaduna leiramba mayam do ai Manipur ki praja punamak ai kalik punamak aduga agency punamak leirba center gi amadi state ki agency punamak aduga Manipur ki praja punamak manung amane panda leibiri state da leiba aduga outside da leiba sing ai appreciate tawi ai khoi mayam gi apunba voice na ngasidi Bharat sarkar na huji Manipur da thui ba lan si thongnari ba wathok si ethnic nate aduga state manungi oiba law and order khaki port nate si purely waging war against the Indian Union by the Myanmarese and Bangladeshi-based Kuki militant with collaboration in some militant in operating in Manipur. Clear clear. The National Investigation Agency (NIA) on Sunday arrested Simon Lun Gangte in a case related to a transnational conspiracy by Myanmar and Bangladesh-based leadership of terror outfits to wage war against the government of India by exploiting the current ethnic unrest in the state of Manipur. Sigi poch ay Manipur gi miyam da khanganing adu Manipur gi miyam da ngasai nahangi lermeba unrest samunda mayam do kokpiro raga ngasi di hairi ba ngasi thengnari ba amri thengnagador makha taba punama se Bharat Sarkar Manipur Sarkar aduga ngasai gi outsider base Bharat pu thugai ge na ulan tawri ba Bharat lan tawri ba kangbu duga thengnaragani haiba gi am clear oiba adugi potuni aduna khoina kana kari tawrige kana tumil lebra leitabra adu tawra ta tawra na social media da kaida tawbogi post koi to kana hujikti Bharat Union government sina Bharat Sarkar sina haiba issue si tawga ba tawre haiba do sigi post ni am clear kana